Is day 1428 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Our lunch is close. Today we're doing Yeridea, Simon Race, Samach Zayin, Sif Lamed Gimel, to Sif Lamed, Chav Gimel, to Sif Lamed. Chav Gimel, Dafar Shukana Bekuti, Lo Kane Gufe, Ken Yacholi Barat Moshem, and Akhlani, specifically because he acquired it from a non-Jew who does not acquire body of Yavikani. So therefore, he can tell himself a person, as we explained. But if a guy saw himself to Yisrael as a slave, he requires his body immediately. Then he can't tell himself as being Ben Chayim. And when the Kuti, when we say that he bought it from a non-Jew, that he can tell him for the purpose of being free, that's when the non-Jew bought the added from himself. That was low kind of the goof because he didn't acquire the goof. The Kuti can open Dina Machusa, but the Kuti acquired it, the non-Jew acquired the added by Dina Machusa. Such as where a king was victorious in war. He sold the people who were seized in war. Or he sold people on account of taxes. The law of the kingdom is law. The king does acquire the goof. There's a special halacha of the ownership of the melech of his subjects in countries which were, of course, absolute monarchies. Doesn't really apply in a constitutional monarchy. The melech of the goof of kuti, and then he sells it. He acquires the goof, sells it to the non-Jew. Does gamakuti kana goof. So then the non-Jew also owns the goof. He sells it to the Jew. The Jew also acquires the goof. So if in this case he can't take the initiative, and say I'm telling him for the purpose of being free. Any place where there's a government law, in this way, that way, the law of the kingdom. It's law of the so every day we have the authorization to acquire slaves. That's the law of the kingdom today in our day and age. Even in Russia, I guess, at the time they were showing they're no longer serfs and abolished already. Male and female slave when they are hired to a Jew. That's when they are not toivel, just hired. When they're toivel, the purpose of avdus. As soon as those Melech Shabbos, now I'll do Melech Shabbos, can see, but it says, your slaves now do work. Somebody who has an ever a male or female and hasn't yet toivel them for the purpose of avdus, also achal bilam below just by him. Somebody else can't toivel them without the permission of the owner. If he doesn't want to toivel them for the purpose of avdus. In order that they should be able to work on Shabbos. And also they can sell them then to a non-Jew. What you can't do if they toivel for the purpose of avdus, which is boiled, we shall see. If you violated this prohibition and toiveled them, you have to pay to the owner the damage. You should damage him. As experts will estimate. See, Eitzah, if he just gave a suggestion, Potter, he's exempt Kilel. It's a question whether the slave and themselves have to pay. In this case, in leadership term, it seems that they don't have to pay. It's not really their fault. Hey, Bada, you should know the Shadin, Hakodam, Shuhra, Sifud Alf, Ayin Sham. It's a which just learned in Shuhra, Sifud Alf. His Bible says she beholds like no or other ever b'shiv kosh lo b'tzoro. And this would seem to be clear that you can be makna, you can bestow the ownership of a slave against on a person without his against his will. Relocate because otherwise, which is mine. How can you possibly toivel them without the wishes of the owner? The Dover Table, it's astonishing. He should claim Maknos for Adam ever the Shivcha Shlo Ufana. Okay, make you Makna and Adam and ever the Shivcha to a person not in his presence. Makam Matan is like Ogib, she's not going to him. He can be Mizak for a person even not in front of him. This guy was an Eber Shivcha that can do Malachim on Shabbos. So that Bilam Shlomi Daito to tell them without his consent, Shemagilo Ra, which would be bad for him, much Kasabnu, like wrote Echel Shlomi Daito, he gets without his consent. You only detract from a person's ownership rights or a person's exercise of his prerogatives. That's probably a better word I'm not thinking of. You can't do this without him, and not in front of him, and if it's not with his consent. If you like him, perhaps because since doing this we sanctify this Eved by making him partially Jewish. Well, being a daita, we don't require das. Only das of the owner. The kedusha undermines the lien or the parameters of the ownership of the Yisrael. Even though the Yisrael has a damage from this, they'll pay him. Like we said, the writer said, evidence is that which he said you can pay them for the purpose of a ben chorim. The time the hektish of kid they shibud because hekte I guess the writer is there mashkasamnu shochid ba'atz moshe ben chorim. The time the hek I guess a riot to this is that hektish of kid they shibud. So hektish undermines the shibud, dissolves it. Which times if you sign. Because so in such a case, doesn't require a kedusha. There was it was kadosh. I would say about the Eved becoming a full ger, and here was not kedusha, so he certainly can't put himself into kedusha. But certainly put him into kedusha. Chavav, Alpha Pish ain't Eved even know it was man. I say him no Eved even doesn't apply in our day and age. Ain't Eved even know it was man Sheba Noy. Every Jewish slave is only applicable when there is a yovel. Zelikos gufo chodine every that's require his body. Both laws of every. But where a captor has been mocked to the Jew, this Eved, Ivri, the for his handiwork, in a way which is effective according to the laws of the land, such as taken captive in war. Or Hamas, or that the tax collector sold him. Hadamatzi is willing to sell him. Wow. Sell to a Jew for his handiwork. Matzi Me'av, Rabbi Yisrael, the Mate, and Miknaso, or the Mate Shavi of Anafi. And he himself, the Eved, can give to his master, Yisrael, his purchase price or his value and go out. The hand of the master is of less, has less power. He has to take whatever is lower, either the purchase price or his value. So to people who are don't conduct themselves properly, you can treat them with authoritarian an authoritarian way, and to subjugate them with the permission of the kingdom. So the king decreed that anybody did not give the allocated taxes. So anybody can take those people and subjugate them as long as they give the taxes for that person. You use him more than you normally would use a worker. But still not like an Eved. If he is misbehaving, then you can even use him like a regular slave. Something requires a non-Jewish slave from Yisrael, only from a non-Jew. So to non-Jew, someone sold to Yisrael, or sold his sons and daughters. He's like an Knani, but there's a different distinction. Those who can requires the non-Jew, ankle for Kanui, he can acquire the body, only for his handiwork for Gufo, and after his body, only can Medina. Is acquired according to the law of the nation. The country does come Gufo Kani, then his group is acquired from Kosan. V'kulan kosman shlo yivil l'shem avdus. And all of them, as long as you didn't cover them l'shem for the purpose of avdus, lo nemalu, and they didn't get received for that purpose either. Dim kul yichol davar like going for all manners. So chen yesh fresh ben elu she'en gufon konoi. There was a distinction those who the body is not required. Shem tailat so shem ben chorin, not ben chorin, because of the purpose of being free, he's free. Ve'elu shegufon konoi. And those which are already gufo kani, their body has been acquired. Lo mani they can't do themselves the purpose. As we saw earlier today. Chashi b'lu shem avdus, once they tell them for the purpose of avdus, lachem milah, after they've been mila. Dino ke'eved, his law is like an eved chai b'mitzvah she'isha chayvasem. He's required to do the same as a woman is required to do. Umutzah avod bo, and you work him hard. You see that which it says, lo yidenim before, don't work him hard. Zel be'eved hivri, below be'eved kind, so about a Jewish slave, not a non-Jewish slave. And we come nevertheless, midas chasidus, the darka chachma, the midah of piety, and the smart way of conducting oneself. If she had the rachman, a person should be merciful, ulo, avodah, and not put a heavy burden on the slaves. The time don't cause them anguish. Yachim become achol, and you should give them to eat from every food. Yeshkim become mashke, and give them to drink of every beverage. Not to degrade them. Lo biyad, not with corporal punishment. Nor with verbal abuse. Not speak harshly with them. And not shout at them a lot and get angry a lot. Doesn't have menachas calmly. Yishmat will say, listen to their claims. Respond softly. Of the sense of Avraham Avinu, those who inherited the true religion. A king who made wage war and brought captives and sold them. And also he gave authorization to anybody who wants. He told me to take from a nation which is waging war. You're going to sell the souls to be slaves. So to be commanded that anybody does not give his allocated tax should be sold. Din, his law is law. The slave was bought acquired according to these parameters. Like every in all matters. The Konegam Gufo in his body is also quite much because like he wrote the Din Machusas Din. Which normally only by maid servants and not slaves. A male slave, Neishach Hashar, because of the suspicion of Arias. Even they're minors. She can name, but there's no name of, because people are going to be suspect that she's going to raise them and then have affairs with them. Even if the mistress has a husband, we're still afraid. It's a shock. Even Ivri ain't close, so she's not acquiring Evan Ivri. But if it's just a servant, not a slave, there's no problem. The only decree is by a slave. Shekafla mode is very subjugated to her. Not by a generic servant. Especially if she has a husband. And that's the custom. Interesting, that's the Taz. With some people, that's the Bach. Also, even take a servant. That's not the custom. One can be astounded why they not ban a man from acquiring female slaves. Suddenly, you have the same issue named Protus B'Yosef, because they're very wanton, callous, and very frivolous. He's afraid that they're not going to reveal the rest they can't reveal the illicit affair, and he'll be embarrassed. Furthermore, a man is safeguarded by his wife. Maybe he was a bachelor. It's like also to buy female slaves. Also, you shouldn't even have female servants. Women are frivolous. There's a machlokes if a master could say to his slave, work for me, but I'm not going to support you. Go beg your food. Oh, you knew let them give you from charity. Should supply us kind of money, though, so it's to sustain slaves. But Dafka bought if it's only his own slaves. But but the slaves of the dowry, which is wife brought into marriage, Shichnisolo, Chayav Zunam, he has to sustain him. Yeshin, some say, Hodi Yocholamar, any is on, I can't, I'm not going to sustain your Shanim Tikunam. That's when years are okay and it's easy to find food. Sham observes the 8 years of famine, Shem Rachmin Olav, when they're not going to take mercy on the slave. Ein Yocholamar, the master can't say that. We can say, take your handiwork and use it in order to acquire your own sustenance. Even though they're not enough for that purpose. Doesn't write this distinction. The Shul of Arif Shari came with Bagmar Sham seems to be specifically marked. But the truth is that the underlying halach is not clear at all. But how can a person say, Zanach? I can tell the slave, I'm going to do work for me and I'm not going to support you. And so this is not always bothered me. It's tremendous cruelty. How could possibly be allowed? Furthermore, the Pshita, the Tzedakah, other people are not going to give tzedakah to this Tzedakah, so his master can work him and they have to feed him. And then Medivir Rambam is Bonanti Kabana Chesish. And so Rambam, it's a different shot and so together. Zesh Rambam is what Rambam says. Yochel Rav Avdo. A master can say to the slave, I say me ain't a Zarach Chule. Work me, I'm not going to support you. But Met Rambam is true. But Avodah She'em based in his Gawkim with G'daylim. Nishmor Malano. That with the Shuba is burning that basin does not get involved with adults to preserve their money. As the master's an adult. He said a stupid thing. The slave's going to run away. It's not our business. He was an idiot. Right? So we're hoping that he'll have the intelligence to be concerned with his own money. But if he's foolish enough to impose irrational demands, they're just going to run away. And we're okay with that. But that's the slave she brings in as dowry, he has to feed them. Because if he doesn't feed them, they are going to die or run away. And obviously his wife's going to suffer as a result. Okay, he's going to get in great detail on this, but that's all we're supposed to do for today.